Donald Trump is a role model.
The border, the people.
Can we stop crazy?
Why are you laughing? What's
that
funny?
lady's crazy.
He's very business minded, and I also feel that being that he had these connections with other leaders, it can prevent war from happening in the future.
How do you feel about the war in Gaza? How do you feel that the U.S. and how they've handled it? And did that affect your vote at all?
In a big way, yes. We just don't want any war, and we don't want innocent lives to be killed.
We also have a bunch of updates on the Trump transition. His cabinet actually now full, complete. Not to say there aren't other slots he's got to fill that aren't cabinet level, but he has
put out his nominees here, so we'll bring you some of the most interesting choices, including Attorney General nominee now Pam Bondi, who was Attorney General of Florida.
One eternity later.
Gates, who had Johnson, we're taking out development. See, completely here for a with us. They did. So as I was just saying, I have Griffin here in studio with us.
Jesus, Griffin.
With
a fake mustache, yeah.
A number of women who we were able to speak with. So set up a little bit for us what you asked them and what your general
borrowed his dad's suit. What is going on, man?
Yeah, without giving too much of a spoiler, it was interesting because for Trump, the reasons were all pretty much
this is not a real person.
Immigration, it was wars.
This is New York? Yeah.
Why did you vote for both Trump and AOC in 2024?
It was definitely
Because
Queens.
America needs a role model, and I think Donald Trump is a role model.
The border, the people.
Can we stop crazy?
Why are you laughing? What's
that
funny?
lady's crazy.
How is
Donald Trump a
let
role model?
them finish. Let them finish. And I'll explain. I'll let them explain.
Grab him by the you know what is a role model.
She ain't say nothing about that. She talk about other stuff.
Don't rent the black people. It's a role model.
Where did that come from? We talking about 2024. Anyway, let's finish. Let's finish.
Past doesn't matter.
Of course it
illegally, the murders, everything, all the crimes are increasing.
The Democrats really haven't done anything.
She said
for us.
close the
They're
border.
making the situation worse in New York. So I thought this time around, let's just give Trump, a chance. Maybe, he can make things better.
He's very business minded, and I also feel that being that he had these connections with other leaders, it can prevent war from happening in the future.
When Trump first came, those 4 years, it was, ups and downs, but it was nowhere, it was no war. We didn't have any fight with other countries.
How does AOC fit into that picture?
She's like that sister.
So wait, are we fighting a new country now? I wish. Hopefully, there's pushback. I haven't seen this video. Hopefully, they push back on some of the dumb stuff that they're saying so far.
Well, let's finish it and then we'll run through it. Let's just see.
Always defend you.
I doubt it's that long.
She'll scream till a bloody pulp if she had to. She's truly a fighter.
Is there a little bit of a New York realness that they both share? Is that what I'm hearing?
Oh, yeah, definitely. So much that they could be like brother and sister almost.
I like that they're very outspoken. They really have, I think, no filter.
If you look at Joe Biden, there are a lot of things probably he wouldn't understand about our generation or the future generation. And also Donald Trump as well. He's aged too. So we need someone above and beyond, more new generation and would understand more.
I just voted for her, honestly, because the other people I didn't know about, and her I just always hear about. It's crazy. So I thought, she's a familiar name. Let me just vote for her.
My mother was like, vote for her. So I was like, okay.
That's great. That's enough. Listen to your mom. Could you compare Kamala and AOC for me? What is the difference between the two of them?
I just feel that Kamala has a position as a vice president already. And I don't feel like she did much in the position that she held for the last 4 years. I feel like she used entertainers for promotion, and I didn't like that at all.
She doesn't bring anything.
All right, let's pause right there. Because I don't know how long this video is, but so far, what were you going to say before? What issues are you having?
I feel like they're wrong about literally everything that they've said so far.
Fair. Give me, all right, so what?
He's not a role model. I mean, that is subjective, but I would like to hear why someone would think he's a role model other than he's a billionaire. And then I can't say any of this really makes sense. It's just the AOC and Trump might well be brother and sister. They don't agree on anything.
I mean,
sure
I don't know where
be comfortable being in the same room with Trump.
I have no idea where the brother and sister comment even came from, but family disagree and agree on things all the time. So I don't know. I don't know where she's coming from with that. But like as far as like the reasons why have they even gotten to it really? Like why they would vote for AOC and Trump? I mean, some of them kind of mention it. Like what do you disagree with about why they would vote for AOC and Trump? Like like the black girl just now, what she just said, I've made that argument. You've made that argument. They're in office right now. Well, Kamala was, and I don't think she's doing a good job. I don't think anyone thinks they were doing a good job. And then the fact that she would bring out celebrities, that the same play the Democrats do every time, especially when they're pandering to minorities, and it really drives me insane. It's disrespectful. They tried out Megan Thee Stallion to twerk on the stage in Atlanta. I'm gonna keep bringing it up because it's ridiculous. It's completely ridiculous.
That was kind of lame. I mean, but did you find like Eminem's like little speech?
I'm gonna be honest. I didn't
as corny or as whatever.
I was so burnt out of the celebrity speeches for Kamala. I did not even watch the Eminem one. As soon as I saw it, I was like, I'm not watching it. It's like I didn't tune in.
I don't think that's a real not what you're saying, but like as far as from actual right wingers, I don't think that's a real criticism because Trump would have done it if he had real celebrities. Like he did it, but he's got D-list celebrities like Kid Rock and Dennis Quaid and you know more people on that level. Right. If he had Taylor Swift or if he had a Beyonce, he would do it. He just doesn't have any big celebrities.
You know what? Fair argument, but I think the issue that I have with that, or the way I see it at least, is that it comes off for the left at least. It comes off as pandering because they do it every election. And they always bring certain demographics to pander to certain demographics. And it comes off again. This is the issue that I have with Democrats and the left right now. Everything they do just seems disingenuous. And it's always just identity politics over and over again. And to me, as a black man, it's incredibly disrespectful. I'm tired of seeing it, that anytime election season rolls around, they trot out these quote unquote black celebrities. And it's always like, to be honest, the most ratchet people. Who Megan Thee Stallion, I would never get over this. Twerking on stage in Atlanta, in our home state, is disrespectful, bro. And like, come on, man. They put someone up there to tap dance in front of them. Republicans don't really do that. They do if they had better celebrities or more, I guess, mainstream celebrities.
I think that's just as corny. Ripping your shirt off.
Twerking.
But I get what you're saying. I think both of them do some corny stuff.
I will not compare ripping his shirt off because that's something that he does. Yes, Megan Thee Stallion twerks. To Megan Thee Stallion twerking. To me, Megan Thee Stallion twerking in front of a predominantly black audience in a predominantly black city is incredibly disrespectful to the voters. The Hulk Hogan walking out there and doing the Hulk Hogan thing, tearing the shirt off. Okay, like that's what he does.
I mean, they
like
both
it's
did
like
their signature move.
Her signature move is twerking.
Yeah, that's her signature move. I didn't tell
I'm just saying, like, and then, so what's Glorilla's signature move? Is it twerking too?
Looking weird.
That's okay, I'm recording. You know that, right?
Her eyes being too far apart. That's her
like what? Like
move.
no, but seriously, like you surely you see how that, like, that's disrespectful. They think it's like to me it comes up like they think that we're stupid and they just put somebody up there to tap dance. The way Sanders
treated Cardi B was better because I didn't like Cardi B beforehand.
Me neither.
I mean, I don't care about her now, but to me, the way Cardi B could actually have conversations with Sanders and give a point of view, I was like, okay, she's not as dumb as she tries to seem. Like she's smarter than she looks.
You're the first person I've ever heard Cardi B is smarter than she looks. I mean,
if you actually watch her when she was a Sanders surrogate,
I did.
16
I remember.
and 20.
Me and you talked about
it.
it.
I thought she was a complete idiot. You know, a dumber Barbie than Nicki Minaj. But she actually said some fair points to the Sanders agenda.
Me and you talked about it. I want to go back and watch those clips of her with Bernie or endorsing Bernie or whatever with new eyes because we both know, because me and you spoke about this. She was an idiot. She's an idiot. I found it disrespectful then. It's like, I can't believe they're putting freaking whatever. I can't believe they're putting her on the main stage, pandering to rappers and pandering to minorities. Like, nobody wants to listen to her. I thought it was stupid then. I think she's stupid now. Her speech now was terrible. I couldn't even get through it. It was so cringy.
With a Meg Thee Stallion, Eminem, all these rappers, I think they try to get like the young or youngish non-voters. I don't think it works, but I think that's their goal.
This is true. This has always been their goal. Like even obviously when we were kids, like the whole get out the vote campaign. Of course, it's the target. And it's always Democrats that push it because they want to target younger voters because that's their demographic. That's how they win elections. The problem I have with it is that when they target these young voters, especially when it comes to the black community, they always put to the forefront, I'm going to be honest, the worst of us. I do not think our rappers are supposed to be representing us. They do not make black people. The average black family is not like Glorilla. They're not like Megan Thee Stallion. It's disrespectful. And as I've gotten older, I'm getting tired of seeing it. Like it makes me sick. Like it's ridiculous. There's plenty.
It depends on the person.
Of other people
to
pick.
I don't mind Killer Mike being anywhere. Like I don't mind being on Bill Maher or wherever else.
I agree.
He actually
yeah
has something to say and
but
has experience.
He's
to back
totally
it up.
different than like Glorilla, bro. Like
Yeah,
Glorilla was
Well,
up there.
I don't think I've ever seen Glorilla talk. So I don't know.
Good. Don't look it up. Like, it was horrible. Like I'm just so sick of seeing that. So I don't know. But anyway, let's see.
How do you feel about the war in Gaza? How do you feel that the U.S. and how they've handled it? And did that affect your vote at all?
In a big way, yes. We just don't want any war, and we don't want innocent lives to be killed without any reason.
It's crazy what's going on there, and we need to fix it. It needs to stop. And I think Donald Trump will be able to maneuver it. I hope he does.
New York have so many issues here with high rent and.
Why are you laughing? What did she say that was crazy? Hold on, let me go back.
Trump himself said that Harris and Biden weren't doing enough to support Netanyahu. So all he's going to do is give him even more bombs, more
I agree
guns,
with this.
more drones. Like I understand. I didn't do it, but I understand like the Jill Stein people. Like if someone's an Arab or a Muslim or an ally to them, and they're like, okay, screw Harris, screw Trump. I'm going Green or I'm going Cornel West or I'm choosing the couch. I get that, but choosing Trump is just pouring gasoline on the fire.
When it comes to Israel versus Palestine, yeah, I agree.
Would you vote for AOC for president as a Democrat?
Yeah, I would give it a chance.
I mean, I don't say that women.
I'm pausing because this just brought up something else. I think we talked about it earlier, how they were saying that AOC might potentially want to run for office in 2028. What do you think about that? I think it's an awful decision. I think it will be terrible. But what do you think?
I hadn't heard that before actually, but it's a mixed bag because I think that she has so much like hate and baggage and dislike toward her, but also I don't know if that matters because I don't think those people would have ever voted blue anyway. I think they were going to either be red or the couch, no matter who the nominee is. If she goes at it from a Sanders point of view, let's get corruption out. I think if she goes at it like aggressively, like because before when she came into the politics, she was like, "I'm going to challenge the status quo and do this and that." And then 4 years later, she's calling Nancy Pelosi Mama Bear. Like if you go back to being a fighter and a challenger, kind of like Sanders in 2016. And have that type of agenda, she definitely could have a shot.
I think
she's like, increase the minimum wage, universal health care, focusing on being a left populist. And people actually believe it because I didn't believe Harris when she was like, we're going to tax the rich and then lower taxes on the middle class and the working class. Like it's nice to say, but Obama saying that, Hillary saying that, I wouldn't believe really anyone saying that besides a progressive. I don't believe it. I don't believe a neoliberal will do that. So I think AOC does have an advantage there, being a progressive rather than a neoliberal.
I agree. I mean, I might have mentioned it before, but she has too much baggage. Like when she came in, I did view her as like the progressive wing of the party. This is what we needed. This is what the direction we need to go. But she has done too much and honestly burnt too many bridges that she is viewed as blue MAGA. Like she is like the poster child for blue MAGA, whether it's true or not. And I think there's no way, regardless of if she shifts back to previous policies or previous stances, there's no way that she can get rid of this persona that people have made for her, that she's built for herself. It just wouldn't work. Like I think if somehow she is the nominee and they push AOC, I think they've not learned anything. And I'm coming from the stance of Democrats don't want to win elections. They don't like winning. They always routinely shoot themselves in the foot. Even if AOC tried her hardest to go back to being the progressive she was or whatever, or being viewed that way and not so much into the whole crazy thing, she just recently removed the pronouns from her bio. Yeah, I saw that too. Funny. But if she went and did that, it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter. She has too much baggage tied to her already. I think it would be dumb for Democrats to do that. If they do it, it just proves again that they never learn. They never learn. So
I would say it shows that they are learning, because they would be trying something new. Because this would be the first time a progressive made it that far. Like all the other ones are neoliberals. Like it's never been a progressive
right
who made it to the top of the ticket.
I think if they were trying,
which is what is needed.
I think if they were trying something new, that's great. But they need to try something new with someone new. You cannot pick.
I would recommend that. I would say go a progressive who has less baggage.
Yeah, you cannot pick someone who has had. I don't know how long she's been in office so far, but like who has been attacked from every angle for so long. Like it's just dumb. It's like don't pick Gavin Newsom either. You got a nickname.
No,
don't pick him. Like it just doesn't. I seriously hope they don't do that. But
yeah, like as we've talked about, like even before Biden dropped out, because like these are two choices. These two guys who brains hardly work. Trump and Biden. Like I wanted Jon Stewart then. And I still want him to be the candidate. 4 years from now, but. If it wasn't Jon Stewart, then I do think like Tim Walz has a good shot. Like him naturally, like the way he showed up the first month of the Harris campaign was more so the natural Tim Walz. I feel like the Biden people and Clinton people got there after the DNC convention and told them like to calm down, like don't do this, don't do that. So the vibes were better. Like when the first month or two, Harris ran. But once she started getting advice from Hillary, which is crazy to me, like why get advice from someone who lost? But once she started taking Hillary advice and Biden advice, that's when, and being with Liz Cheney, like I saw Liz Cheney more in August and September than I saw Walz or Sanders. Like if I was Harris, instead screw Liz Cheney, like I would take her endorsement and Dick Cheney's endorsement, sure, but it would just be like one sentence, like okay, I appreciate anyone who votes for me, and that's the end of it. Like I'm not going to go city to city with a war criminal's daughter.
Right. The Tim Walz thing, I said in another video, like if we had to pick now or go back and pick, I would have picked him at the top of the ticket because he seemed more mature. But looking into the future, I would never pick Tim Walz because they've already attacked him for being crazy. Like if they view him as crazy.
What did he do crazy?
The whole, like, what was it? The tampons in the boys' restroom thing? No.
But that's not true.
I don't care. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
The truth doesn't matter?
No, the truth definitely matters, but winning matters. I'm telling you, if they pick...
Most people haven't heard of that.
Yes, they have. Yes, they have.
And that could easily be... If he win again, they could ask him in an interview, and he can easily say how that's not true.
When it comes...
Everyone has something negative about him.
When it comes, especially again, I'm telling you, this is populism. I'm telling you right now, and especially with people on social media, they think he's crazy. they think he's crazy. Whether we could let me finish. We could look it up and see if the whole bathroom thing is true or not. But that's just one thing. I know there's a few other things. We can do something on Tim Walz because I personally, before all this other stuff, did like him. Like I've heard of him like previously. Like one of my friends was telling me about him years ago or whatever. But that's fine. But I'm saying I'm looking at it from the point if Democrats and progressive want to win an election, you need a new candidate. You need someone who comes out of the gates as a progressive, who actually is in a populist, has populist positions, is not seen as crazy, is not seen as quote unquote woke. And, I hate that term, but it has to be someone new. And unfortunately, I'm telling you, I don't think Tim Walz is that person. I don't think.
Pick, but just out of the existing like pool of people, like I would probably. He would make the short list at least as far as candidates in the primary. I'm not saying he should be necessarily the top of the ticket,
right.
But I mean he's a governor, so he's actually ran something like because pretty much these senators and congressmen are just passing bills or proposing bills. So being a governor, I think, does help It's just like good practice for being a president. And then the things he did while in Minnesota, making paid family leave and I believe pre-K, universal pre-K, and things on that line of things. To me that makes sense. Like to me he is pretty much the same as Bernie Sanders. Like they pretty much agree on like 97% of things. So
if this was
someone liking Sanders and not liking Walz doesn't really make sense.
If this was 10 years ago, I would say yeah. Even 5 years ago, sure. But again, I generally don't think that there would need to be a major shift in where people's brains are and where people are thinking when it comes to politics and populism and the economy for me to say that any candidate, left or right, especially left, because we're talking about the left, who has any name recognition right now and who has any like negative feedback on them, especially just calling them woke or crazy, should step away from any opportunity or positioning themselves to run for president in 2028 unless something changes. If someone is calling you crazy and they're saying this with the tampons in the boys' restroom, whether it's true or false, you should just know. I'm telling you, just
even
they
if
don't
Joe
care.
Manchin ran against Trump would make up stuff and call him a communist.
You said Joe Manchin? Bro.
Yeah, Joe Manchin, anybody, like, whoever his enemy is a communist, is a socialist, is a Maoist.
Okay, so let me ask you a question.
Make up stuff about everything.
Let me ask you a question, because what you just said kind of proves my point with something. You just said the exact thing that Democrats do. Anybody who they did make up stories about Trump. They did make up stories about Trump supporters. They did call Trump supporters fascists and Nazis. You're doing the same thing. Both sides do it. The problem I'm saying is that if you want to win, the objective should be to win. It doesn't matter if it's a lie. It's what people believe or how many votes you can get from saying something. They don't care. The left doesn't care and the right don't care. They both yap. They both lie. They both make up stuff about each party. The issue is Democrats like to lose. They refuse to do what's going to make them win. This is why they didn't pick Bernie, because they're stupid. Like we've seen it. Me and you have seen this time. It's both. They're corrupt and stupid. Me and you have seen it time and time again. If I'm running anyone's campaign, say I'm the head of the DNC and I'm like, we need to pick a candidate. Anybody who had any name recognition over the past 10 years, who any Republican called a woke progressive, it has negative feedback, get out. Leave the room. Like you have nothing to do with this. We are finding a new candidate, fresh blood, and we are pushing he or her or whomever it may be to the forefront, and that is it. And we're going to control this, and you're going to be a populist, and you're going to win back those blue collar voters who for generations actually voted Democrat. The ones that Bernie would have gotten. We're going to win them back. All this other stuff, I'm sorry, y'all got to go. Y'all got to go. We are here to win. We're not here to do this nonsense.
All they need to do is win the Midwest again.
Yeah,
like, that's mainly what they need to do. Which Sanders would have done in 16 or 20 because he didn't sign NAFTA, so he would have got the Rust Belt to be blue again. And I do think Tim Walz would have not to put all my chips in the Tim Walz basket. I'm just using him as an example, but the way he comes across. The way he comes across to a normal person is like this Midwestern dad. Like if people think he seems like some purple-haired, woke Twitter person, then like I said, they're just believing propaganda.
Yeah, some of them are, but I got to be honest, man. Like I don't think the vast majority of the electorate saw Tim Walz as this Midwestern dad. I know the Democrats tried to push that narrative for him, but they didn't.
The numbers show different because out of the four at the top of the ticket between Harris, Walz, Trump, and Vance, Walz always had the highest numbers between the four of them.
I don't think that has anything to do with them viewing him as a Midwestern dad. I think they have to view him as they were viewing him as the more competent politician. That's the same way I saw him when I saw the presidential and vice presidential debate. The vice presidential debate was boring. But I might have said to you too. I said that should be the top both tickets because whether you agree or disagree with both of them. No, but I'm saying like I could tell that these two candidates, Vance and Walz, seem like they should be at the top of their tickets. They seem like they were actually debating points. They both had their different arguments. They both had their different positions. But it was clear to me, at least, and I think to a lot of people, that they should have been at the top of the ticket. However, moving forward, I'm sorry. But I would steer clear of him. I really would. I would try to find somebody else.
'Cause it comes back to why she lost. And I think we disagree on why she lost. For me, a Tim Walz or whoever else that's a progressive would wake up the base and make up for those and largely white women who didn't show up by saying like, okay, here's free college, here's increasing minimum wage, here's daycare, here's paid family leave, and so on. Like they aren't going to care about these white women who who voted for Biden in 20 but didn't vote for Harris last month. Earlier this month, they're not going to be like, oh, I'm not voting for Walz because I heard some tampon rumor. They're going to see like, okay, this guy is actually talking about this, saying there's agenda, and he has the history to back it up. Like, there's another problem with Harris. She doesn't really have the history because is she a neoliberal? Yeah. Is she a progressive? Sometimes she pretends to be a progressive. Like Walz has that history to back it up, just like Sanders does.
Like I said, I think if this was like a few years ago, great. But I generally don't believe that there are enough of those voters to make a difference. He could do whatever he wants. Unless there's a major shift in the political movements, if we're still in this populist era that we're in right now, to me, it doesn't matter. I honestly think that history has shown this. We've had Trump twice. He's ran 3 times. I'm telling you. And then even Bernie was clearly the candidate. That's what, 4 elections where we've had this populist movement. Unless it changes next time, I don't see it happening. I generally don't. And so
I agree. It needs to be a populist.
Yeah, but I'm saying like it needs to be a fresh populist. It cannot be somebody with baggage already on them. It cannot be somebody who the right. This is strictly me coming from the point I want to win. Who the right already has their eyes set on, who they already know how to make an argument against them, and like it or not, has proven that it does help them win elections. Walz was on that ticket too, right? He was there. Some people didn't vote for them because of Walz. It doesn't matter. It does. It does.
Trump, even Trump said it doesn't matter much.
Who cares? It's BS. It's true. You really think some liberals didn't vote for Trump because of JD Vance? Yeah, they did, because they don't like JD Vance. Even you said he's crazy. Yeah, it does matter. But it does matter. It does matter. But I'm saying is be objective. You can't say it doesn't matter. But then a few days ago, JD, they didn't vote for it. Part of it was because JD Vance. It does matter. That's why. That's why she should have picked Shapiro or whoever. Yes, it does. That's why they should. It doesn't matter that much, but it definitely matters. That's why some people were arguing that she should have picked Shapiro. I think she still would have lost, but it matters. It matters. It does.
Josh Shapiro's a neoliberal. It doesn't. Maybe it would have helped her a little bit in Pennsylvania.
That was the point. She lost Pennsylvania.
She barely won Minnesota, and Walz is the governor there.
But that's the point.
If she won Pennsylvania but lost Minnesota and everything else stayed the same, she still wouldn't have won.
She wasn't going to win anyway. But the point is, historically, you pick a candidate who can win you a state because you're always trying to win the election. Yeah. But Democrats refuse to do this. And I'm saying moving forward, you need to pick a candidate who's going to win you an election, even if it matters a little bit. Had she won Pennsylvania, she still could have had a chance. But I just think she was going to win regardless. So that's just a fugazi. It's fairy dust. It never would have happened.
Trump winning and having the worst VP pick, just going by the numbers, going by favorability and likability and all the numbers that showed up. JD Vance was historically even worse than Sarah Palin. He had worse numbers than Sarah Palin, but Trump won. So it's kind of hard to say if the VP matters or not.
What do you mean? What do you mean? You're it's like you're making 2 arguments for the same thing. So you've said no, but listen, you said, and you've said this before, that you don't like JD Vance because he's crazy. And then I turn around and I say, well, yeah, VP picks actually do matter. And you say, oh, no, not really. It doesn't matter who he picked. There are people who didn't vote for Trump specifically because of JD Vance, and he still won. The vice presidential pick definitely matters, even if it's a little bit. Every vote matters. Every move you make matters. And for the Republicans, it worked. and it's
I don't
worked
think it was
on the
any
multiple.
consequence. I mean, if you want to be
Clearly it
literal,
was.
Yeah, I'm sure 100 people here, 100 people there didn't vote for Trump because of Vance, but I don't think it was anything substantial.
Yeah, it was. If it wasn't substantial, AOC and her campaign wouldn't have been running on the campaign trail calling them weird. You remember how weird they? Oh, he's weird. He's weird. If it didn't matter, they wouldn't have been doing that. See, but that's what I'm saying. You're even admitting it. So clearly, it mattered. If somebody didn't matter, no, but if something didn't matter, you wouldn't care about it. You wouldn't target it at all. They went for weeks. They went for weeks specifically targeting Vance.
Because they want to paint both of them that way. So they're hoping.
Yeah, because it matters. Yeah,
I mean, tying it to Trump is what matters.
It's who's tied to Trump? JD Vance, because JD Vance matters. That's why they attacked him. If it didn't matter, they wouldn't attack him. They would just leave him off in the woods somewhere. Like, didn't matter.
Because even before the VP debate, like before and then after, everyone was like, we'll watch it, but does it really matter? Like, even I forgot what channel it was on. I think it was on CNN or whatever else. But even those panelists and those hosts were like, it doesn't really matter. It's a VP.
It's because
debate.
it's the VP debate.
But here's our analyst talking. About it.
It's because it's the VP debate. That's just the energy of every VP debate. That's how everyone treats a VP debate.
Because the VP doesn't really
yes, it does. Yes, it does. The debate doesn't matter because it's the top of the ticket that really matters. But who you pick does matter. It does. That's why literally they were arguing that she should pick Shapiro. It does matter.
The debate. They thought would help her win Pennsylvania.
Yes.
It matters in Pennsylvania because he's the governor of Pennsylvania.
Yeah. That's why it matters. That's why it matters. How can you say it doesn't matter? Of course it matters. Everything matters. The debate is what they're saying doesn't matter because no one really watches the VP debate. But the person who was picked still matters. That person is still important.
A little bit. Man, nothing major.
It's all good. It's all good.